All right, guys, so it's time for a little review of Roots. The game of woodland something. Okay, guys, let me just start off by saying there is no reason I should like this game. It is a war game, and I don't think I've ever won. Having said that, I like this game. So I think part of the reason that I like this game is I've noticed recently that one of my favorite mechanisms, it's not really even a mechanism, but my favorite accessories, if you will, to a game is asymmetry. I love it. One of the best games I've played and actually own, Gaia Project, has that asymmetric faction. There's asymmetric faction boards, and they have I think 8, but each one's double-sided, so like 16 or something like that. It's ridiculous, and it makes you just want to play the game because it makes you want to try something new, try something you've never done before. You want to experience, what the game. It's like playing a new game like 16 times. This game, every time I play, it's a new experience, and it seems like there's not a lot going on on the board, but there really is so much strategy to this game, and it's almost so much strategy that it's actually hard to hone in on one. Honestly, it might be just because the rules are so complicated that you're so focused on just getting the rules right that you can't even form a strategy. You know what I mean? But this game, like I haven't played with the Vagabond yet, but I played with the cat, the fox. Wait, what is this guy? The bunny, the Woodland Alliance, and so I played with Marquise, the Woodland Alliance, and I played with Eerie Dynasties, and every single one of them is so much different and so much fun. I'm shocked, mind blown at how balanced this game is with each one. I mean, like you said, now this one, the Vagabond was a little weird. I wonder if I got any rules wrong on that one, but if I did, I'm sure, hopefully they get cleared up. But it was so neck and neck. Like, that's the sign of a game that's balanced, is it's so neck and neck at the end. I mean, this was one turn away from me winning. And if I would have done one thing on the board, literally one turn and one roll, and it would have been over, most likely. So the fact that it was that close is a great sign. So first things I dislike, so we can always end on a high note. Number one, that my wife doesn't like it. Okay, whatever this game did to make my wife not like it needs to stop. It needs to change. Another thing is the rule books they're overwhelming. And guys, I'm serious. Like, it's just pure text. I know that there's a different kind of rule book, but it's a little bit more vague than this one. This one is the one you want, really. But it's just pure text. You know what I mean? Where are the pictures? Give us a picture to relieve a little bit. You know what I mean? But it's intense. And I have rule books that are 3 times the size of this that are less. I don't want to say complex, but I don't think. Is this rulebook well written? Probably. This game doesn't feel intuitive at all. I find myself looking at this rulebook a lot because each faction has their own rules, and it's just inherent to the game. It's the game's fault for being so complex yet so good. So yeah, there's a lot of different rules, and it's little rules that get you in games. It's the little ones, it's the little tiny rules that are the problems in games that they make you mess the game up. And sometimes they're game-breaking rules. I don't think we had any of those here, because again, it was so close that it had to have been done right, I believe, for the most part. And so the rulebook, I don't like it that much because there's so many rules to this game. So that's not necessarily the rulebook itself, but it's just the rules in general. But I will say that, but I also think that the game needs a lot of rules. So they didn't do a bad job. I just don't personally like that many small rules in a game. But also the rulebook I don't like the wording. I'm gonna be honest. It's probably done really well, and a lot of people probably really appreciate it, but I think the wording is for some things, it's so vague. And if I'll read it like 4 or 5 times and still have no idea. I'm like, dude, I'm like literally forgetting, the alphabet as I'm reading this. It makes you feel, it's weird. It's like, why don't I understand this? Again, I think one of them was like, a building, so like when you build with the Mechanical Marquise, a building of the type with the most pieces on the map in a clearing, you rule with the most Marquise rulers. It's like, or warriors. So it's like, bro, excuse me? Then you read it again, and you understand less of it. Then you read it again, and you understand less. Then you go watch a video, and you're back to where you started, pretty much. But it does make sense after a couple plays. It starts to really come together, but there's some wording in there that is just awful. And it's not necessarily the wording's awful, it's just very hard to understand what they're trying to say. Even things like when they say such a clearing. I mean, you don't need to say such a clearing. You can just say, it's declaring that. I mean, I understand there's a reason they did that, but I think it could be a little bit more clear and less complicated, to be honest. But aside from those two things that I like about this game, I could go on for a long time. I'll just say the main things. Number one, the art. This game, certain games make me play it because, or what I want to play them because of the atmosphere. I love this atmosphere. I love the art. It's just beautiful. It's, you know, they have different maps and each one is gorgeous. The art is incredible. Even on the cards, it's you know, it's a little like a little toony, but it's just fantastic, and it just brings this vibe of just really chill, relaxed fall atmosphere. You know what I mean? It's really good. It's just I love the art. I love the pieces. The components are great. I also love the asymmetry. Again, that's what I said at first. I love the asymmetric stuff. Like each one is doing their own. Like each one has individual pieces, components, different rules, and the way that they use different things on the board. But everybody's trying to accomplish a similar goal, and it's usually very close. And I think that is just beautiful. Because it makes me, I'm like, okay, now that I played Woodland Alliance, I haven't even come close to mastering them, but now I want to play with the Cat again, or the Vagabond, and it's just like a whole nother game. It's a completely different game, completely different experience. And now that I have the Clockwork expansion, so with 2 players, we found that maybe that's why we don't like it very much. It's it's not very tight. It can be a little boring. I think the Cat and the Bird are the only ones that really work well together, and in a 2-player, until you add, I think, Underground Duchy from another expansion, which I'm going to get definitely. But the Clockwork expansion does this is incredible. This is incredible. Like I didn't mind. I had a good time. I actually had a good time playing games by myself, completely alone. And well, I mean, I have you here, right? And guys, honestly, I played solo and had a great time. I don't think I've ever been able to say that about anything before, to be honest. So yeah, this was great, and it was an incredible solo experience because, you know, this was a little overwhelming trying to keep track of all their stuff, but I really liked it's so they hold your hand. They hold your hand and walk you through it on these boards. That's what I love about it. I mean not that they need to babysit me, but like I'm saying, you know, it's just nice to have all that stuff on there. So this game is probably top 65. No, I'm just playing. It's probably top 20, honestly. I don't know if it's top 10 because it's top, because most of my top 10s are 2-player games that I really appreciate, but this is good. Like as far as 3 players go, dude, this is number 1. I think I have Power Grid. That's the only other one that I really want to play with 3 players. All the other ones take too long with 3, I feel like, but a lot of these for me at least when we have kids. But this is a great game. I cannot wait to play this with 3 players. This is something that like I would introduce to other people immediately, because I'm like, bro, we got to play. Like it's almost like it's almost built for like a game night with a bunch of people. Some of these games are definitely not. They'll burn out and this takes too long. This seems like it would be a perfect game to bring with 4 people, 3 people, and yeah, so try it out, guys. This game is amazing. Guys, if you enjoyed the gameplay and the review, please like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when I throw out another review or another chit or another chat. You know what I mean? So please, guys, join me on my next adventure. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night. God bless.